What's going on, guys? 360 Digital Closing Bell here on this gorgeous Friday, September 11th, 2020. We're live on YouTube from an undisclosed location here in Denver, Colorado. As always, I am your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, joined by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, and the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com, Stuart Turley. How you doing today?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and we got a hall pass, I believe.
Holy smokes, we have a hall pass to give out here just mere minutes away from the end of our day. We have a great show for you guys lined up. We're going to chat everything that happened in the U.S. equity markets, which unfortunately was another, not down day, but things stayed fairly flat. A lot of stuff to cover on the U.S. shale side. Crude oil prices stayed pretty flat. U.S. rig counts dropped. Lone Star Resources, we should hear something today. Interesting what will happen there. Barry Petroleum accused of shareholder misconduct. Whoops. Northern Oil and Gas makes a huge land purchase into the Permian, all of about 66 acres. I'm kidding. Not a huge land purchase, but about 66 acres in the Permian. And an independent board has voted in favor of Noble and Chevron acquisition. We'll dive into all of that. Plus, Stu's got some stuff in the international news desk. But first, guys, just subscribe. 360 Digital Closing on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, the best way to stay up to date on all of your energy market news. I mean, really talk about Friday. We see a lot of choppiness in the market generally. When you look at just the way the indices rolled, we saw none the same. Huge gains in the morning, up about 1.5% on all the indexes to right before the closing session. We saw things tank about 1.5% below. Currently, things closing about even SPY 3341. That's a 0.05% increase. NASDAQ finished down 0.6 percentage points, or about 66 points. Dow actually finished up about a half a percentage point, 27,665. Crude oil has itself okay day, half a percentage point on the upside, 37.47 on 12-month strip, 41.04. That's about 40. It's about a half a percentage point drop on that. Natural gas does not fare well again today. $3 or 3 percentage points on that downside. $2.25. 12-month strip still stays above $3.13, only about 0.75 percentage point drop. XOP, which is our E&P securities contract, stayed fairly flat, only about 0.3 percentage points on the upside, 44.16. OH, which oilfield services, 111.56. That's fairly flat, about a tenth of a percentage point drop. On the downside for equities, Gulfport Energy, 9.5 percentage points down to 57 cents. Barry Petroleum, wonder why they're down, 11.5 percentage points, maybe some shareholder accusations. We'll get into that. $3.36. Amplify Energy Corporation, 83 cents down, 11.5 percentage points. On the upside, Peabody Energy, if you're in coal, great day for you guys, up 7.5 percentage points. Warrior Coal Inc. up to $17.86. That's 7.5 percentage points on the upside. And Northern Oil and Gas, of a monstrous 66-acre purchase in the Delaware Basin, they are now trading 11 percentage points up to 58 cents. Stu, what do you have on the international news desk today?
Hey, Michael, we got a couple things. Chevron and that one you kind of touched on, it's going to be in the news a bunch. And one of them is very important. We had a Montney panel at the oil and gas conference. We're going to be releasing that in case you missed it, coming up right away. But the Montney, if anybody doesn't know, that is the Permian of Canada, and it normally produces 1.5 million barrels of equivalent per day. That's a ton. And so there is now a move on purchasing, selling, and everything else. So this is an M&A place just to watch out for. And we got some experts on that. So that one's on the news desk. And also, you take a look at global energy transition underway with Kemp. They've got some interesting statistics in this article. You got to go read it. And when you take a look at the numbers that are out there, you've got 33% global mix fell from a peak of 50% in 1973. And you take a look at what renewables versus what's going on right now. This article is stuffed with stats. It's good stuff.
Good stuff. Crazy day on the international news desk. One of the biggest things that happened this week was the Saudi cutting their official selling price. Unbelievable, just driver down on the market. On the U.S. shale side, couple things to worry about, guys. First, U.S. rig counts declined by 254. We saw 3 rig increase in the Permian, but we saw a drop of 1 in the Marcellus. So that's kind of even. Interesting how it's swinging back from Permian gains 2 rigs, Marcellus loses 1. Interesting note there. Another thing, guys, September 11th was the day for a chapter. As we've been following Lone Star Resources, remember they had a forbearance extension, Stu, that happened on September 1st? Well, September 11th, today's the day. No word. So I wonder what they're doing today. They're scrambling to figure out what's going on at Lone Star. My guess is it's going to be Chapter 11. We'll probably find that out Sunday afternoon. I'm sure they're paying. They're getting the lawyers to write up the paperwork as we speak. What'll probably happen is because if they're late on the forbearance, if you file Chapter 11 from a forbearance, bank automatically becomes, or whoever owns those senior notes automatically become the debt holders, or automatically become the new holders. So the people who are holding those 11.5 senior notes that are due in 2023, who are in the forbearance, this wouldn't be the worst thing for them. They do take control of the company, but not good if you're Lone Star Resources, unfortunately. As we mentioned, Berry Petroleum was down a whopping about 3.5 percentage points today, and that was off the back of a shareholder. They're getting sued for their, basically, not doing their financial duties. That type of press is going to drive the market down. But when you read the press release, they're basically just saying that they IPO'd in 2018 at $14 a share, and now they trade at 58 cents. And so, is that corporate misleadership, or is that they just have bad assets and oil prices depressed and things just happen? I don't know if anyone's, I don't know if there's, I think this is more of a symbolic than an actual. There's no weight to this, I don't think.
I'm taking a note.
Exactly. This is all just corporate PR stuff. I don't think there's actually any fiduciary misconduct here, but the Shareholders Corporation, aka in San Diego, gotta love me some San Diego, claim there is. So we'll see. I doubt it. You also ran a good story, Stu, that, as we mentioned, Northern Oil and Gas, 66 acres in the Permian, which is approximately about 1,400 barrels of oil. That's going to be equivalent mid-2021. They expect their adjusted EBITDA and cash flow metrics to not really change that much, but you can go to their website and check it out. They increased their guidance from 20 to 25,000 barrels per day to 25 to 30,000, which is probably a little heavy on the upside, but we'll see there. You also read a great story, Stu, about Noble Energy. The ISS has recommended that shareholders of Noble approve that vote in favor of that. So Elliott thinks one way, these guys see the other. Who knows what's going to happen? Stu, it's a busy week, man. We miss anything today?
No, just again, our hearts go out to all the folks affected by the September 9/11, and it was a busy week. Thanks for all your hard work.
I appreciate it. Yeah, as always, guys, your hall pass is now complete. We're going to go ahead and let you get out of here. Let's finish up. Start your weekend. We will see you guys tomorrow, or not tomorrow morning. Hopefully not. I'm not doing a podcast tomorrow. We will see you guys Monday morning for a week podcast, which will be available exclusively on the Oil and Gas Show. And we will see you in this afternoon for the Digital Ticker, which on Monday, for the first time, will be available on the 360 Digital Closing Bell, iTunes, and Spotify feed. We will see you for the Digital Ticker.